Hi star friends, this is Anastasia with an astrology update for you. Very exciting day. We've got Jupiter moving into Taurus. Now Jupiter is a planet that moves through one constellation per year, so it's really telling us about what is going on in that year. Now notice that it's May 1st today. A lot of people think that the year starts in January because that's when the Gregorian calendar starts. The Chinese astrology starts their new moon at the very beginning of February, because that used to be when the new moon in Aquarius was, but it's no longer there. Jupiter used to go into a new constellation during the new moon in Aquarius. However, at this time, it goes into a new constellation right at about at the beginning of May. And it will continue to shift, it will continue to move. Jupiter is a massive planet that moves very, very quickly, and it is one of the most important planets in the overall astrology. So if we're looking at your astrology, your north and south node are where have you been and where you're going. The Jupiter is what kind of car are you driving to get there. So we need to know what our base element is. Wherever you have Jupiter, that's really your base element. That's kind of how you're driving, how you're riding, what your physiology is. And so now Jupiter in Taurus is really concerned with the beauty of the physical body. Jupiter in Taurus can be some of the most magnificent physical athletes. They can be wonderful dancers. They're also very good at dealing with financial and real estate endeavors. Now, Jupiter in Taurus at their absolute best is incredibly generous and puts a shelter over everybody's head and makes sure that things are done in the most beautiful, elegant way. Jupiter in Taurus at its worst is incredibly stingy, very much miserly, very much controlling over money, very much looking at everything around them as a possession. So it'll be a very interesting dichotomy to look at both of those extremes this year. Now, what is fascinating about this one particular Jupiter in Taurus is where Pluto is. Pluto takes about 260 years to move all the way around. And right now Pluto's in Capricorn. Pluto is the destroyer. Pluto is Shiva. Pluto is that which breaks down the old and makes room for the new. That's why it takes so long to get through a constellation, because it's slowly breaking everything down. And so what we're going to be experiencing is an exact trine between Jupiter in Taurus and Pluto in Capricorn. That dynamic is very, very profound, because Jupiter expands everything. Jupiter is expanding the Taurus Earth. Pluto is destroying everything. Pluto is destroying the foundations of all of the Capricorn Earth. And so you've got expansion and you've got destruction, which is the expansion of destruction, if you understand. And so we're looking at a lot of massive earth changes. We're looking at a lot of earthquakes. Now, because the South Node is in Virgo, we're also experiencing a grand earth trine for the next year. Now, the North Node is in Pisces, so we're going into water. And so we should see a lot of big tsunamis. We should see a lot of earthquakes that are causing the water to come up. In addition, we are seeing the breakdown of financial structures, because Jupiter is the financial structure and it's in Taurus, so it's looking at a lot of where we have our money, and we've got it exactly square to Saturn in Aquarius, which is talking all about digital, which is talking all about technology. So when Jupiter, the expander, and Saturn, the contractor, are going to face off in a 90-degree angle this year, what that does is it puts a lot of change, it puts a lot of pressure, it puts a lot of discord in all of the financial markets. We should see a change in the real estate market, we should see a change in the stock market, and then again with all of the dynamics of this grand earth trine between Pluto and Jupiter and the South Node in Virgo, we're going to see a lot of physical changes. Edgar Cayce, Nostradamus, about a bunch of people predicted that in 2024 we're going to have a lot of massive shifts going through the entirety. And in my opinion, it is a result of the combination of all of the Jupiter energies in Taurus working with the Pluto energies in Capricorn and then the South Node energies in Virgo. That being said, what is broken, what is breaking down, what is transforming is actually making way for a new energy to be born. And so while all of this chaos is going on, it's actually, a massive overhaul in our social structure, a massive overhaul on the planet itself, and it is allowing for new energies to come in, which is very beautiful and very wonderful. So even though there might be chaos, even though there might be destruction from Pluto and Capricorn, we have to understand this is a phase, this is part of the journey that we're going through, and there's really nothing to go into panic about. Rather, instead, go into the highest evolution of Jupiter and Taurus, which is a profound capacity to meditate, to listen, to hear, to sense this bigger cosmic picture. The Taurus energy is symbolized by the tarot card of the Hierophant. The Hierophant is always looking inward. The Hierophant is always in meditation. The Hierophant is always trying to hear what it is that the universe is telling us. And what the universe is telling us is that we are going through this phase called a transformation of matter, where this 3D reality that we live in is no longer going to be here. And when enough high vibration people awaken, become self-realized, they will in fact lift the veil. The veil will be completely gone. And so we will no longer be living in a sense of ignorance, in this shroud of illusion that we've been in for most of our time here, but we will be kind of living in an elevated state. We will be living in a cosmic state, something that is more light bearing, something that is a higher frequency than a carbon-based life form. And so this year is a very transformative year. Be aware of that when you're going through your journeys. In addition, because we've got a grand earth trine, it's going to be incredibly hot and then incredibly cold. The incredibly hot just depends on where you live and where the season is, but like record-breaking temperatures, because when you have that many pieces of the puzzle in Earth, there's no wind, there's no water, and it's just this dense, heavy movement. And so just understand that we want to prepare for the heat, we want to prepare for extreme colds if you're on that end of the world, or during the winter times coming up. It's going to be a very, very fascinating time, as well as because Uranus is entering into Taurus as well. June 1st, Uranus enters into Taurus, and it is going to be there for 6 to 7 years. Now, it will do a retrograde season and travel back into Aries, and then it will land permanently, well, 6 years anyway, for its journey in Taurus in February of 2025. But that being said, Uranus turns everything upside down. Uranus is going to turn the physiology, the physical, upside down. Uranus is going to also be working with Jupiter on that end. It's also going to be ending up trine to Capricorn more towards 2025. More towards the end of 2025, and then it will also be working against Saturn a little bit, but not nearly as directly as Jupiter, because Jupiter moves so much quicker. So very fascinating time. Enjoy your earth energies. Get really focused on getting into your physical body and understanding the technology of the physical body. The physical body is really like magic wands and amazing satellite dishes and this capacity for telepathy, teleportation, telekinesis, all of these psychic gifts that we have. We are of a hive mind. So do tap into those technologies, because it will serve you extremely well. Have a wonderful day and enjoy Jupiter and Taurus year.